Hello guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel Grow with Rani, and my name is Rani. So today I'm gonna discuss why you should speak simple English in your initial days, because in this starting you have to focus on multiple things, like where you have to use, like you have to focus on different kind of things now. So on initial days you really cannot use like phrases and some advanced English, because if you are using it, so it can be complicated for you. So yes, that's why I'm gonna tell you that you should start speaking like simple English in the starting, and then once you will become fluent in English, once you will have all knowledge about anything, then of course you can speak advanced English, and you can use some models, verbs, phrases you can use. But initially you really should not use this kind of things, because like this you are just you're putting pressure on your mind that now you have to do this, you have to do this. So you don't have to make it complicated, you have to make it easy, so that you can take interest to learning this language, and so that you can be fluent in English. Okay, because in initial days your target is to not speak fluent, not to become a fluent speaker. In initial days you just wanted to express your thoughts in front of people, and you just want to understand people's thought. So in the starting you just only should use some simple tenses, and you should try to speak simple English, so that easily people can understand you, and you also can express your feeling like very in an easy way. Okay, so for this you don't have to stress a lot. You don't need to take lots of stress to speak like simple English. So that's why I just wanted to suggest you, please, in your beginning days, in your initial days, try to speak simple English. And after 6 months or 1 year ago, when once you feel like, no, now I should learn phrases, now I should learn advanced English, then you can work on it. But please, please, please don't use advanced English in your initial days. Okay, is why we are hesitating to speak in English, because we ever never we don't have any kind of practice of English, because since childhood we are just hearing, we are just getting that environment where only we speak Hindi, where we are only listening our native language. That's why once when we will have to speak in English, so we thought that it's like very big deal for me. So that it's happening because we don't have practice now. So now we start our practice. Of course, how a child learn that how to speak, of course. When a child, there is child, and like he's a 6 month baby or 8 month baby, he start observing. When he is 6 month or 8 month, he start observing to people how people is speaking. And after some time, he when he become 2 years old, then he start imitating those words. If he sometime he sometime he understand wrong, then after some time he find out that, yeah, now it is right. So how a children learn the language? Of course, observing, imitating, and then practicing. So for 1.5 year, the child is going to absorb things, and after 1.5 year, after 2 years, he's going to start imitating. He's going to start imitating, like if some he start imitating, and then he learn that how to speak this language. Okay, so you also have to do the same things. You also have to start absorbing everything, whatever it's happening around you. Okay, you have to absorb it, and you have to imitate it. Okay, you just look around you, and you just start to thinking in English, that yeah, it is that, it is that. Like it could be anything, but you will have to after observing, you have to do imitation, and then you have to practice it. Okay, and then you can speak English. So for that I would suggest you, so please try to try to create an English environment around you, where you can speak in English. And you have to focus only yeah, maybe there's so many people who told you that there's only four pillars that can make you fluent in English. That is like reading, writing, and speaking and listening. These are the four pillars which gonna make you fluent in English. Okay, so we all have practice of this kind of such a things, like since childhood we all are writing, or or in your 12th standard, 9th standard. So we have practice of writing, we have practice of reading. okay, but we don't have practice of speaking, and we don't have practice of listening, of course, because we know who it is. We always trying to watch some movie. Yeah, some people like watching movies, some people like web series. There's different kind of their of course their opinion. So I would say whatever you like. If you like movies, so you start watching movie in English, okay. If you will watch this movie in English, so you are going to learn so many things. If you're not going to learn so many things, so at least you are going to understand those words, and you can repeat it. Yeah, you can repeat it. Once you will start watching English web series and English movie, and then you will start imitating that. So of course the voice modulation will be better, and then when you will speak in English, it will be better for you. That's why start working on it, okay. You don't have to stuck in it, but you have to just put some more efforts. Not much, but you will have to only put some more efforts toward this language, so that you can speak English, okay. If you are in USA, okay, and you, of course, you know that in foreign country no one is going to understand in Hindi, and no one is going to understand your native language, right? So if suppose that if you are in USA, then how you are going to interact with people? Of course, as much you will start from there. So it's your compulsion to speak in English, right? So you will speak English, yeah, and of course there no is going in US. If you are going to speak in English, so there no one will judge you that you are speaking wrong English, you are speaking right English. No one will judge you, okay. So what is most important thing is they can understand you, and if you know a little bit English, then you can express your thoughts in front of them. So you suppose that na that like there is no any other things. Now you will have to only speak in English, okay. So of course whenever you are getting any kind of opportunity, so try to grab it and try to speak in English, okay. Then you can be fluent in English. Yeah, in starting I'm not telling you that after 1 week or 2 week you are going to become a fluent English speaker, but after some time you will be able to absorb your improvement toward this language, okay. So try to focus on your communication skill, because in upcoming time, after 5 years or 4 years, not only 5 years, 4 years, maybe after 2 or 3 years, there is no anything which is going to which is going to make you like survive with the condition. It doesn't matter that in which sector you are trying to do for making your career. Everywhere is there is only one requirement, that is a skills, that is communication skill. So this is a very most important skills which you are trying to learn. So be habitual toward this language, so that you can give your 100% and you can crack it. Most important point, that is you always try to find someone who also wants to improve their communication skills, so that you can interact with him or her and you can improve it, okay. There's so many people, they also want to improve their communication skills, they want to speak English. So always try to find out those people, okay, and you just try to communicate with all of them. It could be anything, just take a topic and just take you can, of course, you can talk about current affairs also. It will also help you to express your thoughts and what you think about it. I was learning this language on that time. I don't have such any kind of environment around me where I can practice with my English. So on that time, I was just getting only 1 hour only in my tuition where I can speak in English, only few sentences. That's why after completing of my course also I was not able to speak in English, just because of practice. Even there on that time I there was anything in my mind. There are so many things in my mind that how to speak in English, but because lack of people, lack of environment to speak in English, I was not able to speak in English, okay. So what I used to do, once I understand that until I'll practice of my English, unless I will learn, okay. So I thought now I should do one more thing. So I just start talking to my friends in my tuition, that yeah, we all are coming here to learn English, and we all are trying to improve our communication skill. So now we can do one more thing, because of course if I am going there to learn English, so they are also coming from to learn English in that tuition, right? So I just talked to them, and I just asked them, of course you also want to speak in English? They said yes, of course. So now on that day, I just make a group of that tuition, and I just add all of them, and we just talk to with each other that whenever we are free we can message in this group. Okay, and we can in WhatsApp we can video call, and there we can add 4 or 5 people, and which can just take a topic and which we can talk about it. So it was also a very major point that I used to do in my past, but not now, but it was in my past.